other we will walk side by side. We will work with each other. We will work side by side. And we'll guard each man's dignity and sing each other's high. And they'll know we are Christians by our love, by our love. Yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love.
Tatyana and her family peacefully lived in Gorenka, Ukraine. But on February 24th, 2022, her town awoke at 4 a.m. because of explosions around them. They knew they had to run and bring their 3 children to safety, as God had shown her husband many years before the war. The traffic jams on the thruway were almost unmoving, so they had to drive around through forest and fields without navigation to the border of Poland. For 24 hours they were driving, without food, without water, and no heat, in extremely bitter cold weather. Miraculously, they were able to get gas on the way. In order to cross the border, they had to stay in line for many hours. Tatyana's children could no longer feel their feet because of the cold. At the border, the Polish people were helping Ukrainians to warm up, using bonfires and salt bags. The entire village where Tatyana lived was destroyed by rockets. Yet miraculously, God saved the street where Tatyana lived. The rocket hit Tatyana's house, passing through it, yet changed its direction to the wall and moved out through the door without an actual explosion. The explosive part was left on the roof, which was removed by professional military workers. This was a huge miracle that they witnessed because they explained that this is not possible by the law of physics. How the explosive part got disconnected and left on the roof, and how the rocket changed its direction and moved out through the back door, only God could do this. These are other rocket parts that were found in her home. This is Gorenka after the bombing. Tatyana's son had just gotten married before the war and stayed at their house with his wife. He cannot leave Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainian families were divided because only women and children were allowed to leave the country. For over 1 year, around every 5th night, the rockets are flying over the heads of civilian people, destroying their apartment buildings and killing innocent people. All the believers of Ukraine are asking all to pray. First of all, for the salvation of the people, so that they come to the Lord and no one perishes under the rubble or on the battlefield. And second, for their government, for the fear of God to be upon them against corruption. Third, for the return of captured and deported children. 20,000 Ukrainian children were kidnapped from their parents in the occupied territories and sent to Russia. American organizations are helping ransom these children and returning them to their parents. And fourth, of course, for a speedy end to this war. More about the children. At the beginning of this war, more than 13,000 children became orphans. It progressed to more than 2,000 children becoming victims of the war, either by being killed or injured. By the official data of Ukraine, 19,546 Ukrainian children were stolen from their parents in the territories occupied by Russia and transferred to Russia. Independent sources, such as the UK's Library of Parliament, estimate the range to be between 20,000 and 35,000 children. Cited, House of Commons Library.